Hey guys, thank you for clicking this video. Just to let you know, this is a segment from my live streams that I do Sunday through Friday. Once again, if you want to catch the live stream, that is going to be Sunday through Friday, 6:30 Mountain Time. And if you don't know what time that is in your time, go ahead and Google it. But once again, enjoy the video, subscribe, and like this video. Back to the video. I don't know where you've been. I don't know if you're now just getting into politics or if you've been in politics for X amount of years. You cannot deny, you would be lying out your face if you watched that debate last night, or depending when you're watching this. If you're watching this when it drops, then it's 2 nights ago. But once again, if you're being honest with yourself and you watched that debate like millions of people did, like myself, you cannot come out of watching that and saying that Mamdani did not crush both of them fools. Once again, the guy in the middle, I don't want to say he's irrelevant, but he's not going to win. But Andrew Cuomo is not only a trash politician, okay? Not only because his policies are the same status quo, lukewarm, old, drawn out playbook type of thing. We get that. But he sucks as a person. And that's rare for me to say. You know, like, he's really like, you won before? You were mayor before? How did you trick these people into voting for you so many years? I'm confused, because I couldn't not once be like, you know what? He made a good point. I didn't do that not once, and I'm trying not to be so biased because I'm a progressive. I'm hardcore progressive everything, okay? I eat my food progressively. Don't know how that works, but I do, okay? So looking at this debate, and we're going to go over the highlights, people are drawn to Mamdani, of course, because he's young. It brings a different, younger perspective to politics, and that's what attracts people. He's a very well-spoken politician. He doesn't beat around the bush, and he tells you exactly how he feels. But people are drawn to Mamdani because of his policies. I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. People are drawn to policies. That's simple. Politicians are supposed to listen to the people. Okay. Oh, rent is too damn high. Okay. Groceries too damn high. Okay. Bus is too damn slow. Okay. Got you. Guess what? I'm creating policies to solve your problems. Ding, ding, ding. That's how you win. What are we doing here? Why am I the only one talking about this? Well, not the only one, but damn, it feels like it. So let's go ahead, watch some highlights, and let's have this conversation. And first off, old boy should have kept the beret on. Once again, I don't know him. I didn't really look into him. Honestly, don't care. But that right there would have been a good look. But I'm just saying, okay, let's continue.
3 candidates, 1 city. Zohran Mamdani, Andrew Cuomo, and Curtis Sliwa face off on the debate stage with no shortage of fireworks.
Thank God I'm not a professional politician. We have the architect and we
defending their resumes and
let's fast forward. We ain't got to hear what they got to say.
Experience to be New York City's next mayor.
What the Assemblyman said is he has no experience. And this is not a job for someone who has no management experience to run 300,000 people, no financial experience to run $115 billion budget. He literally has never had a job. On his resume, it says he interned for his mother. This is not a job for a first-timer.
If we have a health pandemic, then why would New Yorkers turn back to the governor who sent seniors to their death in nursing homes? That's the kind of experience that's on offer here today. What I don't have in experience, I make up for in integrity. And what you don't have in integrity, you could never make up for in experience.
Yeah.
Damn. Hey, every time I hear that, like, it gives me the goosebumps. That right there was the most cleanest bars I have ever heard. Right there. That right there should be studied in political circles. People need to see that and be like, break that down to a fraction, okay? Beautiful. He said, what I miss in experience, and once again, I'm paraphrasing, I have integrity. And you, sir, hey, don't got that. That right there is amazing. Oh, man. And he won. Right there, that moment, this moment right here is going down forever. This is what's going to solidify his win.
I created the Guardian Angels to provide public safety in the subways and streets when government was incapable of doing so. I didn't do it to get a title or a paycheck. Thank God I'm not a professional politician, because they have helped create this crime crisis in this city that we face.
And speaking of reducing crime, it is a top concern for New Yorkers. Mamdani previously supported defunding the police. He has since walked that back, but his rivals, Cuomo and Sliwa, are trying to make sure voters don't forget it.
Defund the police, defund the police. They took $1 billion out of the police. The NYPD is now down at one of the lowest levels in modern political history. I would add 5,000 police, put 1,500 in the subways, raise the starting salary because you can't hire them.
Mr. Cuomo lies again and again and again. I am not running to defund the police. I am running to actually work with the police to deliver public safety. Andrew Cuomo says that he has stood up to ICE. He has not said a word about the abductions that are happening right now.
Andrew Cuomo, because when you were governor for 8 years, your parole board released 43 cop killers back into the street. Okay, your father, when he was governor, released none. I knew Mario Cuomo. You're no Mario Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo.
All right, well, all three candidates.
Now, once again, it's going to be a never-ending battle when it comes to having to always correct people in regards to Mamdani saying defund the police. If you understood what that meant or what that was supposed to mean, then you will be okay with that. The over-bloated police funding going to God knows what doesn't help police business anywhere. It's not making better policing. It's just more militarizing our street police, if anything. We don't need that. So once again, take some of that money, because they get millions upon millions. Take some of that money, reposition it into different areas that will benefit not only police officers, but the community. That's defunding the police. But when people hijack that phrase, they make it seem like, oh, just get rid of police officers? Just expel every police department in New York City? No. But unfortunately, people believe that. So Mamdani is going to continue, even after he wins, he's going to continue to have to fight that old, played out narrative, unfortunately.
It's vowing to make New York City more affordable. Mamdani wants to freeze the rent for rent-stabilized apartments. His plan, though, drawing criticism from his opponents.
Salaries are stagnating, costs are up, New Yorkers can't actually afford their apartments. And I will also take action to actually ensure that the landlords of those buildings can better handle their costs by taking on their insurance, their property taxes, and their water bills.
The mayor can't say legally he's going to freeze the rent. There's a rent guidelines board. There are certain considerations that have to be looked at. You're right, Sally. You can't say today what it's going to be in 4 years. Also, freeze the rent only postpones the rent, because then you have to have an increase to cover the costs.
My whole goal is to improve and not to move. I'm concerned about the seniors, especially those that own homes. If they're 65 and make less than $250,000, no property tax, because the property tax is way too high.
All right, now I don't want to sit here and pretend like I'm some sort of expert in regards to like rent policies and everything revolving around that, but I will say this, okay? Trump has proved that if you want to get something done, for good or for worse, okay? If you want to get something done, you can get some things done. Now, I'm not saying that Mamdani needs to be going out there breaking laws, breaking rules, and causing mayhem. But I'm pretty sure New Yorkers, and if you live in New York, let me know in the comments, would appreciate someone like Mamdani doing all that they can. Don't break the law, but I need you to really test that sucker. You see what I'm saying? Like, really test that sucker out. You know, flex your muscles if you got to. You're the mayor of one of the largest cities compared to most countries, okay? Flex your muscle if you got to. I'm pretty sure Mamdani's going to win by a landslide. Use that to your advantage. That's what you call a mandate, not what Trump is saying. So use that to your advantage.
Democratic
All right,
Socialists.
we have
You didn't
other
vote
ground.
for Kamala Harris, right?
We have other ground to cover. No, we have other ground.
Said leave it blank in the presidential primary because primaries are a place to air dissent. And like many Americans, I was horrified by the Israeli genocide of Palestinians. And if you want to look for me on the ballot, you'll find me as the Democrat.
Mr. Mamdani, thank you.
Hey,
the Assembly.
Once again, he's the only Democrat that's running. That means something, right? Hey, I appreciate that.
Assemblymen will not denounce Hamas. The Assemblyman will not denounce Hassan Piker, who said,
hey, Avengers, have a good one.
Not denounce Hamas. The Assemblyman will not denounce Hassan Piker, who said America deserved 9/11.
The occupation is a reference to international law and the violation of it, which Mr. Cuomo has no regard for since he signed up to be Benjamin Netanyahu's legal defense team during the course of this genocide. You know, it took Andrew Cuomo being beaten by a Muslim candidate in the Democratic primary for him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited.
Zohran.
Now, when it comes to, and to me it's hilarious, okay? That's how you know. And a part of the reason why I hate politics, what does Hassan Piker have to do with the future of New York's mayor have to do with policies? Why did Cuomo think that was a good idea? Oh, he hasn't denounced Hassan Piker. No, what does it have to do with policies in New York? I'm confused. That's not the strong play that he thought it was. And trust me, 9 times out of 10, people who are Mamdani fans, 9 times out of 10, tell me if I'm wrong, like someone like Hassan. It kind of goes hand in hand. If you're a Hassan fan, I'm pretty sure you're supporting Mamdani. So who are you really? If they're not supporting Mamdani, they probably don't know who Hassan Piker is. So unfortunately, that's not the flex that he thought that was.
The president has already said he's going to take $7 billion out of the budget right from the start if you're elected mayor. People are going to suffer in this city. People who need those federal funds. What I would do is sit and negotiate.
You know, Mr. Trump is already suspending infrastructure grants to this city, and he's doing it in a blatant act of political retribution.
I went through this with him. He sent the National Guard to 20 cities when I was governor. You know what city he didn't send them to? New York. Why? Because I said to him, don't you dare, we don't need it, and he backed down, and he will again.
You know, I agree with Police Commissioner Tish in that we do not need the National Guard here in New York City. We do not need them for the purpose of safety, because if it was safety that President Trump was so concerned about, he would send them to the 8 out of 10 states that have the highest levels of crime in this country, but he won't, because they're all run by Republicans. Now, I'd be proud to be the first immigrant mayor of this city in generations, and it's at 26 Federal Plaza that I've seen what used to be moments when New Yorkers would be getting their citizenship turn into moments of tragedy. Andrew Cuomo thinks it's all right to spend $60 million to fund his legal defense from accusations of more than a dozen women of sexual harassment. But if I say we should spend the same amount of money on delivering cheaper groceries in this city through a pilot program, that is unfathomable.
And once again, trying to get better results for regular people is always a bad thing. They call it, socialism. Oh my God, socialism is gonna somehow get into people's food and kill them and, brainwash kids into becoming like trans people. I don't know. Once again, they always make this excuse, but they can give all this money to more wealthy people, to people that's like a couple of dollars to them. Get all this money, all this subsidies, and we call that a good businessman or something stupid like that. You see what I'm saying? I am so glad that Mamdani is focusing on people over corporations, focusing on people and not the extremely wealthy people. Middle class over the 1%. Stop catering to these rich folks. They got money. They'll be okay. Leave them alone. Now we finally need representation for the regular person. That's why he's winning.
On delivering cheaper groceries in this city through a pilot program, that is unfathomable. You've heard it from Andrew Cuomo that the number one crisis in this city, the housing crisis, the answer is to evict my wife and I. He thinks you address this crisis by unleashing my landlord's ability to raise my rent. If you think that the problem in this city is that my rent is too low, vote for him. If you know the problem in this city is that your rent is too high, vote for me.
Once again, you can't beat that. Now, of course, you got to be a good messenger. Oh, you can have the best policies, but if you don't know how to present that, if you don't know how to package it in a way to where people can receive it and understand it, you're going to lose, okay? He said, if you think my rent is too low, vote for this guy. But if you think and you know that your rent is too high, vote for me. Plain and simple. We get that, right? All right.
I was the HUD secretary. I built affordable housing all across this nation. I built affordable housing in this city when I was in my 20s. I know how to get it done.
Well, Zohran, your fantasies are never going to come about in terms of funding everything you want that's going to be free. It's a fantasy. Let's deal with the reality.
In other words, what the Assemblyman said is he has no experience.
What I don't have in experience, I make up for in integrity. And what you don't have in integrity, you could never make up for in experience.
Yeah.
Hey, that's straight bars right there. And once again, they have another, debate on the 22nd. Which is, depending on when you're watching this, just in a few days here. But there's no reason on God's green earth that you think that Mamdani lost that debate. And according to the numbers, which we don't put a lot of real estate into these type of pollings because we've seen them fail us plenty of times. It's only looking better. Once again, don't focus on the polling, but if it's in your favor, that just means something. Policy trumps everything. Your policies need to reflect on what the American people want, and he's doing that. Number 2, your messaging is important. Make sure that it is easy for regular non-political people to understand what you're trying to do to make their lives better. And 3, when you got to be able to get those special moments. Because in this day and age where technology and social media is kind of a important platform, you got to take advantage of it. So he had plenty of viral moments that is going to go down in history. And that's my opinion on Mamdani winning that debate.
Let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Fuck with me, you know that.